guess it's nice not being a commissioner right now because they've been dealing with this issue for some time. But, you know, I hear what Larry's saying, and I think what you said, Bill, about the court is saying you're going to reassess. So basically, anyone that gets elected here in January, moves into the office, they're going to have this right in the middle of their decision making and how they're going to handle it. Therefore, there's a lot of concerns I have about reassessment. I don't know how it's going to affect the older population on fixed incomes that have older assessments on their homes. That's who I really worry about what that does when they are reassessed and nobody can afford taxes going up. However, what would you do about it? Second part of the question. You know, with the state not sure what they're doing, and Larry, you're right, we're not sure when they'll do it, but what we want to do, if we have to move forward with it, you start doing the things like property values, that has to be done. It's going to take quite a long time to do that. Those kind of things, you want to do it efficiently, all right? You look at the property values. What we don't want to do is redo anything based on the state really coming up with a change in rules. So therefore, you move together forward as carefully as you can, doing the things that can be done that won't have to be redone if the state comes back with a new set of rules. Unless they eliminate real estate taxes, you know, I guess we may have to go that way, but we will see what decisions being made toward the end of the year.
Thank you. Diana, the same question.
I am also strongly opposed to Washington County moving forward with a reassessment at this time. If Washington County were to move forward right now, this reassessment project would cost us up to $8 million, taking 30 months to do. And using the assessment system that we have here in Pennsylvania with a base year ratio, you are already out of the fairness factor when you do a reassessment in as little as 3 years. This issue finally has the attention of the legislature. Legislation was introduced for a moratorium on court-ordered reassessment. When it got to this, it would pass the House. When it got to the Senate made it Washington County specific without saying Washington County in it, so the governor had to veto it because it was unconstitutional. I do believe we have an opportunity to have this issue addressed, and I do not want to waste $8 million of taxpayer money to do this reassessment when there is a hope that we will have the assessment problem fixed in Pennsylvania.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll start with Larry. You will be taking office in a challenging economic time, to say the least, those of you who are elected. How do you foresee balancing the county budget? Budgets are already so tight. Do you have any ideas on programs that can be reduced or cut?
Well, we've been in challenging times for the past 8 years. Washington County, we're kind of a bubble of what our national economy is. As I said earlier, we've talked about we had a job growth rate of 4.3%, which made us third county in the nation to do that. But we have constantly, just because times are bad at some places, the economy is, we have always made the tough decisions. We've always run the county as a business, so to speak, when you could. We made the tough decisions on employment, tough decisions on benefits, tough negotiations, and we've always watched out for the taxpayers' dollars. So it's not something that you do just because the economy is nationally is not doing well. It's something that you need to practice while you're in office. You have to look at everything that's going on. You got to make sure the tax dollars are being spent wisely. And I think you'll look in the past 8 to 10 years, actually the county workforce has shrunk significantly. We've gone from probably around 1,200 down to around 900 and some employees. So we practiced good economic measures. We've kept our eye on the goal to balance the budget without a tax increase. We've done everything that we could possibly do, and that's where we're at right now.
Thank you. Harlan?
Thank you. We are in challenging times, even though Washington County is probably a lot better off in our surrounding neighborhoods where they're not having the developments, the casino, the Marcellus well, all the South Point, the development. We're in a good time, but yes, it's going to get tighter. Less state money, federal money, and a lot of those things are just going to trickle down where everybody's going to be needing more. I believe that the county's probably done a good job. There's only two things in business. In my many years in business, there's either more revenue or less spending. Okay, so in the more revenue side, that's raising taxes. Do we want to raise taxes? No, we've talked about that. No one needs more taxes right now. What you need to do is develop better strategies, and we have some good ones now, but keep continuing to bring in new businesses. That creates jobs, that creates wage taxes, that creates more money coming into the township in taxes, transfer fees, etc. So the new revenue coming in, we encourage, okay? As far as the county operation, we need to understand that we have a lot of needs that we create, especially in human services. And what we have to do there is look at our delivery system, which I'm sure they're looking at every day. I've spent a lot of time doing studies of businesses in my AT&T career. You always can find better ways of doing things if you continue to look and ask the people that are doing the job for input. I think that's where you do it. It's not a people issue. We need our people, but let's go and look for more efficient ways of doing things.
Thank you. Diana?
In the last 15 years, Washington County has raised taxes twice. That's why we are one of the lowest county tax rates in the region, and we've maintained that. We've already started scheduling budget hearings, working on next year's budget. We review our expenditures every time we vote. If you are at an agenda meeting, you will see that we are always questioning the expenses. We are always pulling every bill, whether it's a cell phone bill, and expecting each department head to go over them with a fine-tooth comb and see if there's another package out there, and questioning whether things are absolutely necessary, eliminating positions through attrition. We are always doing those things in Washington County. We have wonderful employees that serve us in Washington County, and they work very hard. And I will tell you that I have never had a department head or an employee when I have said to them, what can you do to reduce costs? What can you do to provide more? They've always stood up to the challenge. This is something that is not a once-a-year budget issue. This is an ongoing issue to make sure that we are responsible stewards with your tax dollars.
Thank you. Bill Northrup.
I think there are some challenges ahead for the county. Just started off the top, there are two enterprise funds that the county runs, the health center and the 911 center. Both of those are designed to make money, both of them lose money. That can't be. Those have to bring money back to the county and not be a drain on county resources. I feel with my business experience, that's clearly an area that we can turn around, so those start contributing to the county bottom line. The other thing that is hanging over the county is its pension obligations. They're huge and they're growing, and both pension and post-employment benefits, primarily health insurance for retirees, are gigantic numbers for the county, and we need to address those. We have a union contract coming up next year with the SEIU, the largest union in the county. It's going to be important how that contract is negotiated, and you've got to you really got to manage your bottom line very well. And I think, again, with my business experience, I do that well. I bring a lot of that to the table. I've done that. I've been there. And I want to see that continue as you negotiate with the various unions in the county as those come up for renewal. The other part of it is I think the county, you've got to be promoting growth within the county. Quite frankly, as you look at the population trends in the county, 100% of the growth in the county, more than 100% of the growth in the county has taken place up the 1979 corridor. Most communities have lost population in the last 10 years. You can look it up, it's there, it's online, you can see it. We've got to promote growth throughout the county so that everyone benefits from this.
Thank you. For the next question, we'll start with Harlan. Does the county have a role in encouraging regional sharing of services among local governments as a cost saving?
I believe they do. Coming from a supervisor in the township, I know a lot of my, as president of the township supervisors of Washington County, I've been talking to a lot of them, what do we do with the county versus our municipalities? You know, and everyone, this is a sort of a pride thing out there.